Well, hello, I'm Chris, and this is my how to paint your vinyl or plastic shutters video. So I bought these, and they show a picture of somebody painting what appears to be right over that gray, and I thought no big deal. But whenever I actually started to get ready to paint them, I realized that, hey, these are vinyl or plastic, and not all paints stick to that. So I did some tests, and that's what the point of this video is, to show you exactly, or a very good idea, how you want to go about getting these things ready to paint. So we're going to paint the shutters this color right here. So we're going to paint one with a brush by hand. The advantages of that is that you don't have to thin the paint, so you can paint it with some real thick paint and hopefully get it on the first coat. So the other one we're going to spray with the conventional spray gun. We're going to thin the paint where the viscosity is just right. We're going to see if it's going to take one coat, and by thinning the paint to the right viscosity, are we going to ultimately change the color, like have a lighter color on that one than if we hand painted it straight out of the can. And we're still researching for the ultimate project of painting my brand new front door. So when you buy your new shutters, make sure they come with the mounting hardware. These things are very expensive. So for painting the shutters, we got to remember to paint these too. So the way you paint these, we got to get us a cardboard and stab holes in it. So on the 60-inch, you use 6 of these per shutter, and it came with the extra one. So in the instructions, it says to use a high-quality primer. In case you don't know, this is your oil base and this is your water base. So I did experiments every way possible and found out that you don't want to use either one of these. You want to use this. Even though it's the same thing, this is going to make your life so much easier. So I'm not bashing this company. I like your shutters. I'm going to buy them for my whole house. But this picture right here needs to be changed. It's misleading. So there's all the tests on the back of this shutter. So let's talk about what I found out. So number one, this is not a cheap paint. It's a stain blocking paint and primer in one. So this is completely acceptable paint. So I sprayed that from a gun. It's been drying for about a week. And check this out. So that's absolutely not what you want to do. So when I was painting my door, I got some of that paint and I brushed this one on. Let's check what this one does. So I mean, it scratches off, but it's a little bit better application than when we sprayed it. So I realized real fast we're going to have to prime these. So I got the water-based primer. That's up here, brushed it on. It comes off a little bit, but not that bad. I was not happy. So then I got the oil-based primer and brushed it on right here. And now we have 100% success. Oil base kills primer, but painting kills with a brush. You always leave the paint strokes. Okay, so this stuff right here saved the day. This is my new favorite product of 2018, even though I'm finding it at the end of the year. Sprayed it on. Check this out. But the best part is we have 100% smooth primer job. So if you're doing vinyl or plastic shutters like this, go buy you this. You can't go wrong. Okay, so as far as prepping them for paint, since these are plastic, it would be a way better idea to take them outside, wash them with some bleach soap, and just scrub them off real good. That's the ideal way. Since I haven't really touched them that much, we're going to kind of wipe them down with some paint thinner. We're using mineral spirits. We're applying a oil-based primer. So we're just going to kind of go around it with this. Clean any places we may have touched. So the most important places to wipe are anything that are smooth. See, we have a texture throughout this whole thing that's going to hold the paint to it. But on these edges, we have it smooth. These edges are going to show. Make sure you wipe this stuff down. So we need to shake this up for a few minutes. So they both dried for over an hour. Now these are the 60-inch long, and both of these took one entire can of this. So I got that paint from Home Depot. It's Regatta Blue, and we're using the semi-gloss. So the first one, we're going to paint it with a brush. This is the good brush. They have good, best, and better. That's what this is, 2-inch. We're going to paint this to see if we can get a nice finish straight out of the can. So when you paint with a brush, you want your source as close as it can get to the project. It's also wise to do a little test on the edges like this before you just go straight to painting in case some weird reaction comes up. So yesterday I stirred this up really good. We're just going to give it a good shake. Okay, so anytime you paint, the idea is to get a whole bunch of paint on and then try to smoothen it out the best you can. So a whole bunch of paint on. when you paint by hand, you got to work fast. So the perimeter's done real nice. Now we can take our time and get in each one of those. That's going to be the hardest part of these shutters. So anytime you paint with the brush, you need to have some good lights, and you need to scan your work 100%. Every single little groove in there. Make sure that it has paint on it, and also at the same time make sure it doesn't have too much paint on there. You're looking for that reflection. Make sure there's no visible brush strokes, you know, anything out of place. See right here, we got little one right there. Okay, see, we got some brush strokes right here that we kind of missed. Okay, and using the good brush, we don't have any bristles stuck in our project. Everything worked out great. So painting 1 or 2 shutters with the brush is not that bad, but I have to paint 24 of them. So let's set this gun up, try to spray this right this time. So this time we're just gonna mix it 4-to-1. So I'm gonna fill it up to 1 right there, and then add the Flotro to 1. So we got our little viscosity cup. We're looking for about 20 to 25 seconds for this to completely drain. So obviously that would take like an hour to drain. Okay, so we're allowed 3-to-1. There's 4-to-1. So I'm just gonna go somewhere in the middle. We got the Flotro in there. We are just gonna dilute it with water until we get the viscosity right. So I finally got the viscosity right. The only way to do it was just putting about 30% water. You don't want to put the windshield washer fluid in here because it's alcohol. It's actually gonna allow the paint to dry faster, defeating the purpose of the Flotro in the first place. Okay, so we got our gun. We're gonna set the pressure on 30 psi to start, and we're gonna open the fan control all the way open. So getting the viscosity right with latex paint is a game changer in a conventional spray gun. Look at that pattern right there. I mean, that's like 8 or 9 inches. It's crazy. Of course, we thinned it with like 30% water, so the issue right now is too thin of a finish. So when this dries, we're gonna get the other one that we painted by hand, and we're gonna see how big the color difference really is. Like, is this one gonna be a lighter shade, or is it gonna be the same? Okay, so it's been 24 hours. You really can't tell which one was painted with the brush and which one was sprayed with a 30% water dilution. So whenever you actually get closer, you can start to see like translucent edges. So this is the one that was sprayed with the 30% water. But as far as it changing the color, you really cannot tell. They both appear to be the same finish. So in the video, they both look perfect and ready to go. But in real life, they both need a second coat. That's what I was trying to figure out, if brushing it by hand with the thick paint would eliminate needing a second coat, and it doesn't. Okay, so there's my front door that I finally painted, and it's ready to go. So I have a video on how to paint a front door. Go check that out. Get some good results like this. So that's it for the video. If you enjoy, please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.